This is the Entrepreneur's Seat with your host, Randy Goldbaum, where entrepreneurs share their stories behind their success, struggles, and most importantly, their why.
Hey, my name is Randy. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Seat, where entrepreneurs share their stories behind their success, the struggles, wins, and most importantly, the why. So tell us who you are and tell us your story.
My name is Travis Jackson. I am the CEO of City Publication Long Island. But before I was the CEO of City...
Postcards.
Oh, well...
There you go. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, City Publication Long Island, we do direct mail marketing. We help business owners like yourself communicate their value through direct mail postcards, whether it's solo campaigns, shared mail campaigns. We also do digital marketing and a litany of other products and services to help you grow your brand.
So it sounds like you're not busy at all.
No, not at all. Not by any stretch of the means.
So the first question I have to ask you, sitting on the entrepreneur seat, what was your inspiration to become an entrepreneur?
Well, it started, let's see. If you go back 20 years, I played professional basketball for 5 years, for those that don't know.
Oh, really? Who'd you play for?
Bounced around, started off in the minor league system. So I started off in a small town in Baltimore, a small area in Baltimore, went into Delaware, from Delaware to Atlantic City. Believe it or not, there was a basketball team in Atlantic City.
And they went the same place Atlantic City went, I guess.
More or less. And that got me my first NBA workout with the New Jersey Nets, now the Brooklyn Nets. And then went from the Brooklyn Nets, had my first workout with the New York Knicks. And the chain reaction event started there, and I just continued playing off and on, NBA call-ups here and there, minor league. Had the opportunity to tour the Harlem Globetrotters.
Very cool.
International tour. So I've done a lot of different things in the early part of my career.
As an athlete. Which is an entrepreneurial, because you have to be entrepreneurial to do that, right? You're selling.
You have to sell yourself each and every day.
So it's not just how good you play ball, you also have to have the characteristics that as a team player.
You got to have everything. You got to have the attitude and the mentality to be able to understand the journey of what you're about to embark on.
Which is a perfect segue back to my question, because it sounds like they're very related to each other, right?
Oh, yeah. A lot of that grew me for where I'm at today, because I worked in real estate, 22 years in real estate. But in the process of doing real estate, I was also teaching with the Department of Education. And then this is where everything kind of shook up. COVID happened. And then when COVID happened, me and the Department of Education parted ways. And it was time to start looking in other areas. I was already working as an independent mind in real estate, but then my wife and I was sitting back and doing some research, and we came with this opportunity to increase the marketing for real estate.
So it started out as a for real estate specifically.
Yeah, just wanted to just boost the marketing for the real estate because I was doing well in that space. And when the company City Publication Long Island came about.
What does that mean when the company came about? Is it a franchise? Are you the
City Publications of Long Island is a franchise.
Oh, okay, I got it.
They are across different parts of the U.S. They're around 40 markets in the U.S.
Got it.
So when we met with the corporate heads and learned about the blueprint of what this company was, it was a lot bigger than just for myself. My wife and I sat down and thought about it.
For yourself being the real estate, your engine.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's perfect. Just didn't want it to just, I looked at it, I can take this and have the inside track on doing direct mail, because real estate is a lot of direct mail. It's a lot of interacting engagement. Now I pretty much own the postal area, and when it comes to marketing, when it came to the real estate space, now I have the inside track. I can see what properties are looking to hit the market, what properties aren't selling well. Then I can just put together all types of fun campaigns.
Right.
But then it became bigger than me, because it's like I help people with the American dream of home ownership already. Why not help the entrepreneur by building their brand of business?
I love it. So it's so funny. Every entrepreneur we speak to comes back to collaboration. It comes back to helping other entrepreneurs, other businesses, and that's exactly what you realized. You realize this is a great tool, and why am I keeping it to myself when I can help other people grow their brand into ways they've never thought possible before. Am I?
That is correct.
So what is, and I do want to dwell on the business, but my first question with regards to the business, what is the separation? What do you do different than other mailing companies or marketing companies is a better way to say it? What do you do different?
Well, it's all about the relationship. We're not just a company that just comes in, puts together a campaign, and we leave. I actually go back in and have conversations. What worked, what didn't work. I'm not afraid to get in front of the challenges that the business owner may have. You know, a wise man told me, if you're going to be able to get in front of the wins and celebrate, you better be ready to get in front of those losses as well. And
that's a great piece of advice.
So I took it upon myself, whether win, lose, or draw, how the campaign works. We analyze and do even more detailed research as to why, okay, this may not have worked. So now let's kind of get an idea. Sometimes it might be something simple as just the artwork.
Right.
It may have been a matter of maybe the website that the client
That they were going to wasn't
up to speed.
Right.
It didn't have enough concrete information. Might have been just a matter of might have been too much wording.
But your experience matters.
Yes, it does.
So I'm guessing that a business owner comes to you with a postcard. I'm going to use that as an example.
Yes.
And based on your experience, based upon their vertical, you could tell them, hey, look, that's a great idea, but if you did this and tweaked it that way, I'm asking, is that what you do?
Yeah, it's a lot of recommendations.
That's great.
Sometimes you get clients that come in and, like, I've had clients that don't even have a website or any information, and we have to literally build it from the ground up.
Wow.
Stock ads included, to create a campaign to allow them to be able to step into the space to still get leads.
You know, what you're saying is something I read someplace about how important it is that your website is modern and up to speed to the type of marketing that you're doing, because if your marketing and your website aren't aligned, the customer's going to jump.
I mean, we live in a day and age where people have computers in their hand now.
It's crazy. It's
so
crazy.
Someone receives something in the mail, the next thing they do is
they go on their phone.
They go straight to their phone and see, well, is this company a scam or not?
Yeah, that's valid.
And if the information isn't credible,
they're going to jump.
You've lost them.
And it's hard to get them back.
It's very hard.
Hard to get them back. So let's go back to your journey, because basketball to real estate to where we are today, marketing. If you think about it, what was your why? And I understand COVID. I heard that. But you had two decisions to make at that point. You could have looked at your wife and say, you know what? I'm going to get another job to offset the real estate until things straighten out, because we know the pandemic is not going to be forever.
Of course.
Or I'm going to take this route and be an entrepreneur. Now, you were already an entrepreneur because you were working independent real estate, so you already had the inside. But what was your why?
It was just a matter of just being in more control, controlling the narrative of what your day looks like, not just being held hostage to the 9 to 5. You know, yes, you can get comfortable in that space, but at the same time, you're just pushing the narrative for someone else's dream.
Right.
And when you start your own company, you start, you become your own boss. Now the workload is even more meaningful because you're pushing for your own dream.
And it's your vision.
Your vision,
people.
Of course.
Got it.
You have more control over the narrative, how your life will actually, it's a new chapter. It's a scary place to be in at first. But wise man, I learned this a long time ago. Even a caterpillar has to go through darkness of a cocoon before it spreads its wings as a butterfly.
I gotta tell you, you're full of them. That's pretty damn good.
But you can't be afraid. You have
being
to be
afraid is natural, right? Is a natural reaction, but you can't let the fear stamp out your dream.
But people get uncomfortable, and when they're not comfortable with being uncomfortable, that becomes a big challenge.
So what was in the early days? You're still in the early days.
Yes,
you can make that argument. So what's your biggest challenge?
Just continuously trying to reinvent yourself in a way where it allows you to stay ahead of the curve.
So what does that mean? Things are changing in the marketplace, and you need
The
to change with
marketplace is
that?
always changing. You always have to make modifications and adjustments. You deal with like this month we dealt with postal rate increases.
Right.
So now we're looking at the right programs to be able to benefit our clients, so that way they're not affected by those postal rate increases.
Got it.
You always are on the forefront of people coming back and forth with digital is king. Why should I actually work on doing anything with direct mail, not realizing that there's a comparison between the two, and the two actually work together. And I actually are working on a post right now. Wigs have been around since the early 1500s, and it hasn't gone nowhere yet.
Right.
And it's actually become a designer piece for a lot of people in this capacity.
Right,
So
right.
what makes you think direct mail is going anywhere anytime soon?
You're right. There are always going to be a need for direct mailing. People want to hold things. People want to touch. They want to
Exactly.
read it. As you're going through this journey of City Publications, has there ever been a time that you thought about quitting?
I've never had a moment where I wanted to quit, but I've had mornings where I've gotten up and it's been a challenge, when you're not sure what direction this is going in at first, but you have to stay the course. It's like when a farmer is out there in that field and he's digging and digging and he's planting those seeds and he wants that harvest to come along, and you just you got some aches and pains. And
Right.
for me, for those that know me, I'm out in the field sometimes from 6 in the morning, and I don't come home till like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
I believe
now
that.
You get up the next morning around 6 and you're like, "Ugh, what am I gonna do? I gotta push forward." But the success stories and the benefit of what you've done for someone is what drives you continuously.
Well, I'm going to bring this back to being an athlete too. Being an athlete, you're getting over the same. There's days that your body's hurting.
Oh, your body
There's days that
feels
you're
it.
mentally beat up because maybe you were the starter and you got demoted, but you have to show up. It's the same thing, right?
It's very important. I mean, when I used to train, I was training 2 or 3 times a day, and there were days my body was cramping up.
Of course.
And I would have serious cramps where I couldn't even finish the workout, and I would have to drink. I was sitting there drinking fluids because I said, I'm not leaving until I get these 700 shots up or 1,000 shots. And my trainer looked at me like, "No, it's nothing wrong with stop." I said, "No, because if I stop, then the person who's out there trying to take this position, just like me, is pushing even harder." So I
Same
gotta
exact
push just
scenario.
as
That's
hard.
exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
I'm leaving my house at 6:37. I'm not getting home till 11. Same thing. You're out there building your brand. If you're not there, someone else is going to do it.
Somebody else is going to step in that position.
Yeah,
every
no,
time.
that's incredible. Travis, do you think there's a mistake that you made when you look back that really taught you something and it changed the trajectory of your business?
Only wish it happened sooner.
Because you're enjoying so much.
Because I'm
and the
enjoying
success.
it, because now it made me look at all the things I had done that led me up to this point, how I was seasoned and conditioned. Now, leaving teaching, I enjoy working with the students every day. It was definitely something.
And it's very safe.
Well, and that's exactly what it was. God took me out of a comfort zone and said, "This is only temporary for you, and you need to move into this space." And when God tells you to do something, you got to do it. Otherwise, when you look back, you just get dissolved.
So is that what motivates you every morning to get up at 6:30, as you described to me? And
It does.
is that what it is? It's between
really
faith
does.
and it's between your family and the business that you're building?
Yeah, most definitely. Faith is definitely something a lot of people know. I'm very spiritual in that space, and I don't hide it. Even when I sit down, for those that have sat down and even have lunch with me, I'll sit back and I'll say my prayers before I eat my meal.
Got it.
And I always let everyone know I'm not trying to push anything on you, but this is
how I live my
This
life.
is how I live my life, and if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to.
Good to know.
But you have to continue pushing forward and understanding what it is that you want in life. What are you doing that is meaningful for yourself? And this is something that I found even more meaningful than even when I was playing basketball.
Is it because when you do a mailing and a customer of yours calls you up and says, "Travis, that campaign you put together for me changed my business is I gather that's what gives you the sense of accomplishment, right? The excitement.
The excitement when I get those phone calls. Like when someone says, hey, someone just came in with this postcard today. I said, that's awesome. And I'm looking forward to hearing more people coming in with that postcard.
That's fantastic.
Because that's what this is all about.
You know, we had a guest on here earlier. His name is Michael Patty. He owns a company called Selective Remodeling.
Yes.
And he was telling us that they do these open house walkthroughs where people can see a home before the walls are up. It gives them a different perspective, which is an interesting entrepreneurial approach. But he also said that he worked with you when he saw you here, and said that they did a postcard mailing, very targeted in the area that this event was at, and the first 3 people that walk into the door, all 3 of them had this postcard in their hand. Those people would not have walked into that home had you not put together this mailing campaign for them, had they not known from you. And I don't know, in speaking to him, I got to believe, 3 people coming in from a postcard, if all 3 of them call, I don't know the work they're going to do. Let's say it's 3 bathrooms, you're looking at almost $100,000 potentially plus in revenue. So that's because of directly the relationship he had with you. That's the story you're looking for.
Always.
That's what makes you feel great.
That's what continues to drive
and that's the
me each and every
collaboration.
day.
So
Yes,
it's not
it
only
is.
about Travis and City Publications, it's about the success of the other company.
Of course.
Which is awesome. So has being an entrepreneur, has it changed you as a person?
No, I've been the same person all my life.
So consistent.
I've always been consistent. My mindset has always been the service you do for others is the rent you pay on this good earth.
Yeah, and I believe that in you because in the time that I've known you, and you and I know each other, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years now?
4 years.
4 years?
It started with
a cold call.
It was a door swing.
Yeah, you knocked on the door. It was a cold
I
call.
came and knocked on the door, and I met, God rest her soul, Allison.
Yes,
And
yes.
she was standing outside smoking a cigarette, and me and her talked for 35 minutes.
Well, she wanted to finish that cigarette.
Well, that too.
I don't think you were so interested. No, I'm just joking.
But she, it was an enlightening conversation, and she told me, you guys was on vacation at the time. She said, come back next week. And I came back the next week and rung the bell, and you came to the door.
And here we are.
Here we are.
It was every time I see you in a room, I'm going to say, I see how you light up that room, and I see how people are attracted to you, and that doesn't happen by accident. That happens because of the type of person you are. And I sensed that the minute I met you that day.
Yes.
You and I hit it off right away.
We did.
And I'm proud to call you my friend, and I'm proud of the seeing you in a room and seeing you command that room. And it really, I always am personally very proud of that.
Well, meeting you was one of the best things that happened to me along this journey.
Well, I appreciate you saying so.
It opened up a lot of opportunities along this journey.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
I appreciate you for what you've introduced me to along in the business space, because I was new to in the networking space.
You were green as could be when I first met you.
I was really very new to. I was raw talent coming into this space, and I learned to find my voice by watching a lot of the things you did, and then the introductions, and then going into more spaces, and then having more conversations, and it kind of really groomed me even more in this space as a result of that.
And now you're a leader, and people coming to you.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can. Yeah, you know what? I can. It was interesting. We hear in this studio a lot of times entrepreneurs say, "I can bring the horse to the water, but I can't make them drink."
That is true.
You drank, and not only did you drink, you ran.
Well, I was very thirsty.
So yeah, you were thirsty. So we're going to run out of time soon. I have a couple of really important questions for you. You're a family guy.
Yes, I am.
If I remember, 2 daughters.
2 daughters.
Your wife.
Yes.
And I know that's very important to you. I've known that about you since the moment we met, just like it's important to me. How do you find you balance the ambition, the ambition with family, health, and life? Like, how do you balance that? Because here you are talking about leaving your home early in the morning, coming back late at night. You got to eat. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to be a dad. You got to be a husband. You got to be a friend.
Of course. That's still, the family still comes first. I take care of home before anything else. I remember I was taking my daughter, I was going to a B&I meeting at 6 something in the morning. I remember taking my daughter to school, drop her off, make sure I got to the B&I meeting. And
You were probably late. I think we marked you late. No, I'm just
once in a while, every once in a while, I might have got, but I got there on time more than anything else.
no,
but,
I'm just making it.
but it was a matter of making sure my daughters are always in position to be successful because their dreams. When I stopped playing basketball, their dreams, my daughter's dreams, became my dreams. Everything centers around them. And as far as me and Nadine have been together 33 years, and she understands the nature of the journey that I'm on and what we're working towards. So, I make sure to set time aside for me and her to be able to do certain things. We go have leisure time together. Since the girls have been in college, we travel a lot more.
Love it.
So we're doing a lot of things together. Even when we have events, because Nadine is part owner of City Publications, so she comes with me to a lot of different activities and events. So we're not really away from each other too much.
Right, I get it.
Because she embarks on the journey with me.
Well, she's a wonderful person. And she's another one that when she walks into a room, she lights it up. The two of you together.
Well, she is my better half.
All due respect, she is. So that's true. All right. So the basis of this show is that someone's hearing your story and they go, wow, that's a path I want to walk. Maybe not in the line of work you do, but the entrepreneurial journey. And you talked about your balance of time, and now you have more time with your family, even though it sounds like you're working more, but you do, because you're in control of your schedule.
I control it.
And you control it. So if someone's listening and they have a dream but are afraid to take the leap, what advice would you tell them?
Don't be afraid to step into the darkness, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll go back to the caterpillar butterfly effect.
Yep.
Caterpillar has to go into metamorphosize in darkness before it can spread its wings as a butterfly.
Fact.
You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's where real change and growth happens.
Yeah, 100%. If you go through a hard spot and you don't learn from that, that's a waste of that hard spot you're in.
Not to mention, you got to remember, the earth spins every day. So the challenges that you deal with spin around in a circle. How you handle it the first time determines if that challenge is going to keep circling back to you. Because you ever hear people say, oh, this keeps happening to me. Well, it keeps happening to you because you haven't figured out how to handle it.
Right.
So when you figure out how to handle it, it won't happen to you.
I agree with you 100%. I was once at a meeting and I heard you say something, and I use it all the time. You talked about representing your company, and you said in front of a crowd of about 100 people, I remember you standing up and said you have two options. You could be an agent or you could be a secret agent. Yeah. And I that stayed with me. And I'm telling you, that was 3 years ago that you said this. And that stayed in my head for all the years, because I agree with you. So many people operate as a secret agent and they make assumptions. And you should be standing on your furniture, getting your branding out there and telling who you are and what you know and why and all that fun stuff.
I can't take credit for that quote. I learned that quote sitting in a room with a gentleman named Ron Vonberg. And he walked around. This is like a real estate workshop we was in. He walked around and asked everybody in the room what they were. What do you do? Yeah. And everyone was talking about different professions. And he said, like, this person said, I work in the city as a sanitation person. Oh, I do this. And he stopped after about the seventh or eighth person. He said, I noticed no one said that there was a real estate agent in this room just now. And it was the funniest thing. He said, are you an agent or a secret agent?
I love that.
And it was the funniest thing. And I took that, and it makes sense, because if no one knows who you are, how do you expect them to do business with you?
100%. And it's not just about what you do, meaning City Public, which is tremendous, but you have to be your own brand ambassador.
As an entrepreneur, you wear 100 hats. You are the CEO. You are the marketing person. Yep. You are the budget person. You do everything. So don't be afraid to be that, because as the business grows, then you can start putting people in place to do all those other little tasks that you want to do.
Which is the goal. So I'm going to ask you one last question, and this is a question I ask every entrepreneur I sit with. Give me a book, a book that you would recommend to somebody who's starting out on this journey.
Oh, wow. My personal favorite right now is The Leader Within Us by Warren Rushton.
The leader within us.
Warren Rushton, yes. I sat in a workshop with that man. He talked about balance of time and energy in what you do.
Love it.
Making decisions, you have to understand your time in order to make the right decisions. And if you are out there hustling and bustling every day and you're not setting time aside for yourself, you're going to be running, you're going to be in a losing battle every time.
And I got to tell you something, there's nothing more valuable that any of us have than time. Travis, Jackson, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. And
Thank
I
you
know
for
you have
having me
busy
today,
days for
man.
coming out, and you're looking sharp. Had I known you were going to look this sharp, I would have looked a little sharper. I feel like I'm underdressed for the occasion. We'll have you back again.
Absolutely.
And thank you again, City Publications.
Appreciate everyone. Take care.